Hey going guys, Ben here coming at you for vlog attempt number 2. I'm actually currently sitting in one of my favourite spots of all time. It's a tiny little cave on the north end of Coogee Beach here in Sydney, and it's a place that's been always very special to me. Growing up, it's a really great place to get away from everyone and everything. It's etched into the coastline, so you've got to do a bit of rock climbing to get to it. But I'm going to see if I can try and get this camera to kind of show what's going on here. So it's a tiny little cave, got to do a bit of rock climbing, flip that around, but the view is absolutely phenomenal, and it's definitely like away from everybody, and it kind of gives you a chance to kind of take everything in and kind of contemplate life, which is kind of what I've been doing for the last minute or two, especially around, like the business world and whatnot, how convoluted and hard that it can be. Trying to make sense of my intent, my direction for 2020, kind of where I want to be and what I want to be doing. But I guess if we wanted to pick my brain, kind of came into the health and wellness space about a year and a half ago. Before that, I was really into partying while doing bartending. Fortunately, the two don't mix very well. But got stuck into the dance scene, and there was a huge loss of gratitude and focus for where I was and what I was doing. And so I got really stuck into drugs. There was a bit of an escape from my life, which I thought was just going absolutely nowhere. So I got in very deep with that. It's very sad. It's a very stark difference between where I am now and where I was about a year and a half ago. But came into the health and wellness scene, like I stopped doing drugs. I've been clean 100% for almost a year now. There's definitely drinking and smoking that I have to 100% cut out. But like still working in hospitality, they all kind of go hand in hand. But it's definitely, health is something that I'm working on. So I'm always challenging myself to do at least 10,000 steps a day. Usually my Monday is my detox and just chill out day. But it's always Tuesday through Sunday. I've always got to be doing something. I really want to be able to keep moving, to keep my brain going, to keep, constantly doing something so I don't get bored and I start kind of regressing into boredom. But yeah, no, it's a really interesting sort of life, I guess, is really fun and interesting. It's always, you got to keep challenging yourself, learning something new. It's always about growth. Oh, look, I got a friend. Where'd he go? They disappeared real quick. I hope something doesn't come and bite me. Anyway, so business is an interesting thing. I'm not even 100% sure on, what I want to do. I came into the health and wellness space and I want to stay there. For the last year and a half, I've been researching and looking at the health benefits with alkaline and ionized water, and seeing what's been happening there is just absolutely phenomenal. But, it's just in my head, it's just so super niche. And although people are switching on about their health, that water's a really interesting topic because, there's all of these pre-existing beliefs, especially in Australia, and I think North America's starting to switch on that, like the tap water that we drink isn't always 100% safe. As far as I'm concerned, everybody should be having some sort of filtration process to filter out chlorine. We can put in our pools, but we shouldn't be putting it in our bodies. But like alkaline water and ionization is, to me, I think still pretty new technology. People need to start switching on about it. I think the timing for that is not quite there just yet, but I still want to focus on, health. But it's all about brand, I guess. But, the 10 plus years I've been in hospitality, obviously you can imagine The type of people that I've had in my life in that area is really just bartenders who, just like me, like find it really hard to look after themselves. Um, but I think that that there's a lot of growth to come from that. Um, but yeah, it's like all about brand. So about a year and so it's been a year and a half that I've started doing this. I've started doing my own meetups. I've tried to build quite a following on Instagram, LinkedIn to try to get out there, go to all these networking events to try and get my face out there. Um, I figure that, like playing the long game is a lot wiser because I am in it for the long haul. At the end of the day, like helping people isn't just going to happen just like that. I really want to make a difference. In my family, we believe very strongly about legacy. My dad and my sister are very venture focused. They want to be able to leave a legacy for their family and to help others, and for a chain reaction to happen there. And it's been a year and a half. Like I've really switched on to that, and I really want to, pass that torch on. I really want to be able to, like have something left behind. I had a huge argument with my mum, which is, like all about, what I'm doing with the Coogee Chamber of Commerce, which is a small collection of businesses in the Coogee area. It's all about networking and supporting each other. It's just this argument with my mum was, like, oh, you've been doing this for a year and a half, and what do you have to show for it? Unfortunately, from my previous blog, I was talking about how my family, they're Ukrainian immigrants, they're very old school, they're very, cut and dry, just, do well in school, go to uni, get a job, get a house, get married, and it's all about security. Whereas, like I want to expand, like myself a lot more than that, as far because doing stuff like this gives me purpose, like getting a 9 to 5 job, sitting there at a desk, day in, day out, just feeling secure, being in my little cocoon doesn't work for me. I want to be able to challenge myself creatively, emotionally, physically. I want to be able to challenge myself and, to be able to continuously keep growing and, like learning from Gary Vee, Dan Locke, just reading Brendan Burchard's book on the 7 Successful Habits. It's all about change and growth, and like I'm super thirsty for that. I think the future is going to be awesome. At the end of the day, the future is unknown. You never know what's going to happen. For influencers and anybody, like starting out in social media, YouTube, blogging, you never know if like one video is going to completely launch you into something massive, or if it's going to take 6 months to 1 year of just being consistent. Who knows? And I like that. I like the fact that you never know. I think it keeps you humble at the end of the day. I don't like, the Kardashians, or, for example, you can sit there with everything handed to them on a silver platter. That, all they have to do is sneeze, and, and then it, just becomes international news. So the future is definitely an interesting place to be looking. I'm super excited for it. But I think that's just about enough for the day. If you're sick of hearing my ramblings, but this is me. This is where my thoughts lie. Leave your questions, comments in the comments area. If you have any recommendations, like being still fairly new. It's only been a year and a half, still being fairly new and, like sort of building my own business space. If you have any recommendations, comments, or anything like that, feel free to reach out. My email is my first initial, B.Feldman, F for Fred, ELD for Damien, M for Mary, AN for Nelly, @hotmail.com. So feel free to reach out, have a chat. And would love to hear your thoughts. So I hope to chat to you soon. Bye for now, guys.